Well, many thanks for still staying with us on New Day Signature Television. Well, quite recently, the Nursing Council released a statement accepting the Senior Arabic and Islamic Secondary School certificate as prerequisite, rather, for entrance into the nursing school, and individuals have been reacting. Well, to give us his perspective on this is Dr. Chijioke Oliver-Nwodo. He is a coordinator, Nursing Admin and Management Unit, University of Nigeria, Enugu campus. Good morning, Doctor, and thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you. Good morning for having me. And
Great.
sorry, good morning and thank you for having me.
Absolutely,
please.
absolutely. Yeah. It's always nice to have you in the studio. You're like, you're not like a visitor, you're like a friend, a family friend.
A serious one. Serious one at that.
Good to have you.
Thank you so much.
So tell us, what's all the ruckus about Senior Arabic and Islamic Secondary School certificates?
Yes.
Where did that even come from? I mean, I never heard of it before.
Okay,
now.
don't worry. I will do a bit justice to that,
Please,
so that
please.
all of us will be aware of what it is like.
Good.
Whenever there is anything religion attached to anything in Nigeria, it will spark a serious reaction, and that's exactly what you are seeing now. Because there is attachment like Arabic, Islamic to that examination body, then people are now seeing it with the eye of, religion coming into nursing profession. And that's exactly what has informed this kind of reaction you're getting from people. Some persons who knew what that exam and the certificate has been all over since its existence don't see it that way. But a lot of others don't know anything about this. So their reaction is, why should Islamic Council of Nigeria, a regulatory body of nursing education and practice in Nigeria, be interested in anything religion? That is the confusion. However, when you look at it critically, the National Council on Education, I think in February 2024, last year, published a circular announcing the acceptance of this for entrance into tertiary institutions in Nigeria. Within the same time, National Universities Commission also published a circular in February 2024 announcing the approval for the acceptance of the same certificates for admissions into tertiary education, university education in Nigeria. So this one coming from Nursing Council of Nigeria is just like a corroboration of what the other bodies have already made a pronouncement on. Well, because it wasn't too popular, people didn't find it so funny. However, despite all this, our concern there has been this education, this body we don't know about.
Yes.
What are the contents of their
curriculum
and the syllabus they cover? Because in nursing, it's a core science, human science education that we are concerned about: chemistry, physics, biology, English, and mathematics. You must have a credit at least in these 5 subjects before you be qualified for admission into colleges of nursing or nursing departments or faculties of nursing in the universities. Since these are prerequisites and they said Islamic and whatever, people were like, is it Islamic or whatever that these people are going to have as entry behavior to commence those programs? That led to my trying to find out what the content of their curriculum is like. At my low level, what I was able to do was to contact people. I called some people that are already exposed. Those people, there were some persons that passed through that education that I called. There were those that even had the same class with them. I tried to find out. Let me not just be reacting like every other person, because gradually Obi is becoming a boy in the nursing profession.
Absolutely.
So I can't be speaking as an expert in nursing nutritional management, and I will just be reacting like every other person. And now what informed my calling on these people to find out what is going on. And their response, as we usually say in this country, wowed me. Because I was able to get that they learn English language, mathematics, chemistry, physics, biology. So even one of them even sent me their timetable containing, having all those subjects represented when they teach them. So I said, okay, how about the content? Those ones that passed through the school, I asked them. They said, no, the content is just like every other one. This person happened to be a Christian, but he passed through Islamic school. I was telling me that the content is similar. It is exactly the same thing with the other one. But how do they conduct the internal affairs of that particular body? Maybe how they set their questions, how they ensure that the standards are maintained, integrity of questions are maintained throughout the processes of examination and every other thing. All those things were not too clear to me yet, And those are the areas I may want to call on everybody, including you, the journalists, to help us to maybe unravel what it is like.
I'm curious.
Yes, see, even me, I'm still very curious. I'm here to get everything about this. However, I'm also charging nurse educators, my colleagues in the university and those in the colleges of nursing and even schools of nursing, to also go in. Number one, the easier way of finding out this is maybe the entry behaviors of those ones. As they're coming in, maybe the first 20 elements in chemistry, can they name them offhand? Or maybe solving simple equation balancing, balancing of equation, chemistry equation. Would they be able to handle that as someone would actually, pass through this kind of education? If they have all those things as at the time, have such knowledge as the time they are entering, then you can say, oh, maybe they pass through the same, they receive the same quality of education expected of someone who is to enter into nursing program. Another thing we may check is their performances from time to time. There are basic science courses they do within their first year in the university or colleges of nursing. How do they perform in those things? Those are the areas that will inform our feedback to both the body and the North Americans of Nigeria on the performances of these people.
All right.
So that if there is a need for a review of that policy, will come from there. Yeah.
I told you I'm curious. Now,
Yeah.
this is a simple question though, but it's not so simple. Okay. Now, Senior Arabic and Islamic Secondary School Certificate.
Yes.
In its rights, is it equivalent to Senior Secondary Schools examination?
That's exactly what my finding has made it to be like. Yes, from the findings I got, they are the same thing. From what I got, the same thing with WAEC or NECO, they have the same standard. From the responses I got from people, I did not go there to examine those things, but I called people.
Okay, so if they are an equivalent of SSCE, is there a gap that SSCE had that this particular Islamic Secondary Schools certificate examination is coming to fill? What was it that, made them say, okay, now this should now be it for nursing? What was that?
That's a very fine question. This idea came to my head also. In the first place, why the creation? But I come to realize that there are, when they sent me the timetable, I saw there are some Islamic studies that are attached to what they learn. And those things are not handled in conventional secondary schools. So I think it was a creation by our Muslim brothers and sisters for their people to have both their Arabic curriculum, Islamic curriculum, put together with the conventional ones in the secondary schools we have in this country. I think that was what informed. I'm not very sure, but that came to my mind. Mainly when I saw the timetable, I said, okay, maybe they have found out that in the conventional secondary schools, all these subjects they have here in their timetable are not taught. So they had to fashion a way of combining that with the ones being done in the conventional secondary schools.
Now, would you?
I think that was what they did.
Yeah. Now, would you say that the Nursing Council was too quick in releasing, this statement that, look, we've accepted it? Were they too quick to think they did their normal due diligence?
That was the reaction of a lot of nurses. Why? The question was, okay, even if at all people, regulatory bodies like councils of some professional bodies should accept this, why is it coming from our own National Military Council of Nigeria, being the first to do that before others? I looked at that and saw genuine concern by people anyway. But if you come from the background of understanding that there are bodies that have already approved this even before the Nursing Council did this, whether the Nursing Council come with this approval or not, so long as those bodies have approved, you are vicariously, yes, everybody must surely key into that. So Nursing Council coming to make that pronunciation is just like trying to step down the policy to this, so that schools and universities will not see this as foreign. You know, it's a kind of, I see what they did as trying to take the information down to the people, so that they will no longer see that, view that negatively.
You see the concerns of people.
Yeah.
Islam and Christianity.
Yes.
They are two very major religious, entities, bodies in Nigeria. How will it look like if there's a senior Christian secondary school certificate being shoved down the throat of our brothers in the north? How will it be perceived?
Good. That is exactly the thing. Nigeria is very sensitive about religion, especially between these two religions. And anything that is wearing any religious garb is usually viewed with serious suspicion. I'm not trying to discourage anybody from having that view. And that's why the policy and even implementation is a thing that all of us need to investigate and study properly. Let's be looking at it and where it is going to. If it is just to enable these people learn, since they do Arabic education, different from what other normal curriculum have, then they want to use this avenue to help them. We'll find out with time.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Okay, but if there is any other thing attached to it, maybe creating an avenue through which there may be a kind of shoddy practice.
You do know education is a very strong tool.
Yeah.
So now, when you want to change, I remember, because I'm from the health,
yes.
We are from the same constituency. So my primary area of interest, research interest, is antimicrobial resistance.
Okay.
Now, if you look at our national action plan and strategy, one of it will be to introduce AMS in the school's curriculum.
Okay.
Do you understand? So why I feel people are skeptical is that with the tool of education, you can subtly introduce a certain, discipline without even, it's like a bottom-up approach, to catch them young. That is what my scientific mind is telling me.
Okay.
Now, I asked you earlier, do you think the Nursing Council, they were too quick?
Yes.
Assuming they were too quick, can it be reversed?
Okay. Coming to that again, let me emphasize again that they sounded too quick because no other regulatory body has come out with that. So being the first to do that made it look as if they were too quick to implement this. However, since it is something that has been approved by other bodies, whether they did it first or second or last, they're just trying to corroborate what is already there. However, there is a serious work that all of us need to do. And that's why I have been a serious advocate of a constitution of the board of the National Military Council of Nigeria. The person that published this policy is the registrar of the council.
What is
the registrar is like the chief executive officer of the council.
Okay.
That implements the policies of the council.
But it has to go through the board, right?
Yeah, the board is the policy maker. But the board is not there. For a long time now, the board has not been there. And in the absence of the board, chief executive officer that should implement policy is now churning out policies. People are finding that serious. Because if the board is there, there must be a robust discussion of everything.
Absolutely.
Before it is published for people to consume.
So it's right to say that this policy didn't follow due process.
No.
Can it be retracted?
I said it the other time. It's just that it hasn't been challenged legally. No, it hasn't been challenged in the court of law. But I've been an advocate of that. I have told them that if you look at the law establishing the North-Islamic Council, the North-Islamic Council Act, it says that the council is made up of the board first. Then from the board, it now stipulates who should be members of the board. You know, those things. Before he added the CEO, who is the registrar of the council.
Sure.
Whose duty is to execute the affairs of the council, not to make out policies.
Sure.
He will be part of the policy making.
No, he's part of the board.
Yes, part of the board, but not for him to be the sole administrator of the council that should have a board. So any policy coming out without passing through the board, viewed critically, will be questioned.
Okay, because you have been mentioning all of us, we need to, what the council needs to do, what practitioners need to do. What are our parents? I'm a parent. I don't want my child taking Islamic and Arabic secondary school.
Yeah.
We already have SSCE, which is WAEC. We already have NECO.
Yeah.
So why would my child compulsorily take an Arabic and Islamic secondary schools? What is the role of parents?
Okay, let me clear you that. It is not compulsory for any other person. Like a Christian, for instance, nothing even compels you to take your child to Islamic school.
But nursing school is not an Islamic school.
Yes, it is not. However, what they are trying to say is this. Do your secondary school in the school you want. Have your 5 credits that will qualify you to read nursing from NECO and WAEC. But at the same time, you should also permit this body that conducts the same exam on these subjects from this Islamic and Arabic body. No, that's what they are trying to say. But the school in itself, it doesn't in any way compel anybody to take his or her child to any Islamic school. If you qualify from your secondary school, you can come into nursing. But they're saying if those ones also qualify from the school they attended,
using this, it's an equivalent of SSCE, they can come in.
No, the subjects are stipulated. I want to see the certificates. Because from the timetable they sent to me, they specify the subjects: English language, mathematics, chemistry, physics, biology, all those things listed in the timetable. But I would like to see the certificate to know whether it's also the same thing with the WAEC or the NECO, where they will specify the subjects this person has written and all the grade the person got. If it is not specific that way, then there is a problem. It has to be specific that this person has written English language, has gotten this grade.
Now, this whole due diligence wasn't carried out before.
No, that is what the board would have done. Especially having the CEO, the present CEO as a Muslim, it makes people to suspect that this person is now
has an agenda.
His religious thing. He may be very innocent of those.
He could
but,
be, but
you can't remove that from people's mind. That is the truth. That is the truth. And that's why I'm seriously advocating for the commencement of the board. The board should come up as fast as possible. Let the government do something about this, so that the board will be constituted as fast as soon as it's a matter of urgency. So that these people will know at the end of the day, if someone challenges this in the court and the court says, without a board, you can't make a policy, all these things will become nullity. And you don't know the amount of energy they have invested and even finances and all those things. And those things will just be a waste. So they should do the right thing. I don't know what the president is waiting for to consult the board of the council. Is it the minister that is doing that? Let the board be consulted. It's very, very key. And I charge you people also to help us. Let us try to find out what they do in those schools. The content of the curriculum, the syllabus they cover. Is it the same thing with the ones we see in the conventional secondary schools? Then another thing I'm also advocating for, I wish to plead with them, the board, they need to expand the membership of the board to include non-Muslims there. That will achieve balance and a check.
You know, what you're saying, I hear you, but it needs a lot of advocacy.
Seriously.
Are there moves for that? To go and lobby, maybe someone from maybe the House of Assembly. That's how things are done, especially in this country. You know, things are not just placed on a platter and dropped on your laps. So I know that the Nursing Council is just run by a CEO as of now, but I'm sure there are other associations that can actually come together.
Yeah, professional associations
So
are there.
what are some of the moves? Because it's just not right that there is no board sitting to, or perform oversight functions. So are there moves like that to get your board up and running?
Yes, I have not gotten a clear-cut statement from the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives concerning any effort they have made to force the government to consult the board. And it's one of the things I think I am going to champion as I live here.
Good.
I would like to place a call. Yesterday, the national president of the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives sent me a star message. So it's someone I have been interacting with personally. So I would like to call his attention to this personally. And also the University Graduates of Nursing Association, where I'm a stakeholder as the Eastern president of the association and also a deputy national president. I think I will also call on my colleagues.
That's fine.
For us to put more pressure. Let's strategize on how to make sure that the right authorities get to hear about this. So as to consult this board.
Right. Any other parting shots? Because we have run out of time.
Any other
parting shots, advice, submission?
Well, I think I have exhausted all of them along the line as we are discussing. But the general advice is this: I want to urge every nurse to be calm about this policy. It is a policy that has been approved by superior bodies even before the Nursing Council stepped it down. So let's not be so averse to it. However, as we are receiving it, let's be open to criticisms. Let's critique everything about it. The people that have acquired this knowledge, are they truly knowledgeable in the area of English language, chemistry, physics, biology, and mathematics, which are the prerequisite subjects for entrance into nursing program, in the nursing program. If there are deficiencies in what they will manifest in schools, then let's be quick to identify those things and articulate those things and forward to the Nursing Council, Nursing Council of Nigeria, and also the professional associations, to tell them that these people are lagging behind in these areas, and something needs to be done about this, their education. And that will also bring this other thing I suggested earlier into play, which is that board of that education, because as it sounded, it may be only Muslims that are in the board of that particular certificate board. Let them make it open now for non-Muslims to be there, so that trust will be achieved in the end, and there will be a check of any excesses from anybody.
Absolutely.
I think those are the general things.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chijioke Oliver Nwodo, on your insights into the subject matter.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me just correct you for the last time. Nurse Chijioke Oliver Nwodo, PhD.
Okay.
Nurse Dr. Chijioke Oliver Nwodo.
Okay, Nurse Dr. Chijioke Oliver Nwodo.
When you do it that way, I feel happy.
You're very proud of your profession. I'm glad. Thank you so much for staying with us this long, listening in to our conversations. I'm sure we have achieved our objectives of keeping you informed and inspired. And from all of us at Signature TV Enugu Studios, thank you. God bless. Godspeed. Happy Easter. I am Chigichi Agoram, and bye for now.
Thank you so much.